So, targets 6 and 7 homework. Target 6 was solving equations with rational exponents in them, and target 7 was switching between rational exponent form and radical form. So we'll start with target 6. We're going to solve each of these equations. We first have to start by isolating the term that has the rational exponent in it, and 1 and 2, they are both isolated for us already, so we don't have to do much work here. The way I explained it in class was, in order to solve these problems, you need to isolate the term with the rational exponent, and then what you want to do is take the exponent that you have right now, 3 over 2, and then you want to just flip it upside down to make it 2 over 3, and I'm going to take both sides of the equation to that new power of 2 over 3. Alright, it totally cancels on the left. 3 over 2 and 2 over 3, when you multiply those together, you just get 1. So I get x equals, now in my calculator, I will have to take 343 to the power of the fraction 2 divided by 3. And I get 49. So you can just plug that straight into your calculator. You might have a calculator that needs to do this, like 343 caret, and then in parentheses, you would have to do 2 divided by 3. You have to distinguish 2 over 3 as one fraction. So make sure that you're putting parentheses around the fraction in your exponent. Number 2, what fraction do I have right now? I have 2/3. I'm going to flip that upside down to make 3 over 2. And I'm going to take both sides of my equation to the power of 3 over 2. It'll totally cancel on the left. On the left, I just get n. On the right side, I have 9 to the power of 3 divided by 2, and I get 27. All right. Moving on to 3, I have to isolate v to the power of 3 over 2 first by subtracting 6. So 3651 minus 6, I get 3645 equals 5v to the power of 3 over 2. Then I divide both sides by 5. So 3645 divided by 5 is 729. On the right side, I just have v to the power of 3 over 2. Now, the fraction I have right now is 3 over 2. We'll flip it upside down to give me 2 over 3. And I'm going to take both sides to the power of 2 over 3. So on the right side, those just cancel. And I have 729 to the power of 2 over 3. And I get 81. Number 4, I'm going to start by subtracting 8 from both sides. So I get negative 108 equals negative 4r to the power of 3 over 2. Then I'll divide both sides by negative 4, get that r by itself. So 108 divided by 4 gives me a positive 27. On the right side, I just have r to the power of 3 over 2. And then I'm going to do my work on the side. Right now I have 3 over 2, flipping that upside down to give me 2/3, and I'll take both sides to the power of 2/3. So those cancel on the right. On the left, I have 27 to the power of 2 divided by 3. That gives me 9. So r equals 9. Right, a few more. For number 5, I first have to subtract the 6. And I'm left with, in parentheses, 3x plus 130 to the power of 3 over 2 equals 343. Now, there's a lot left on the left side of the equation, but that's as far as I can go at this point because the term that has the rational exponent in it is 3x plus 130, and it's totally isolated already. So now I'm taking 3 over 2, flipping it upside down to make 2/3, and I'll take both sides to the power of 2/3 at this point. On the left it cancels, and I just get 3x plus 130. On the right is where I have to plug it into my calculator, 343 to the power of 2/3. So I get 49. Alright, now I do have to do a couple more steps to solve for x. I'm just going to subtract 130 So 49 minus 130. I get negative 81. So I have 3x equals negative 81. Then I divide by 3, and I get negative 27. All right, now number 6. Let's see, the only thing I can do here is divide both sides by negative 5. So off to the side here, I'm going to kind of do that. Negative 5 over 7 divided by 5 over 1. When I divide fractions, I have to actually change to multiplication and then flip my second fraction. So I actually have negative 5 over 7 times 1/5. So at this point, those 5's will cancel, and I just get negative 1 over 7. So on the left side, I have negative 1 over 7. On the right side, I have 99 minus 2r all to the power of negative 1/2. Okay, so negative 1/2 means I need to bring 99 minus 2r into the denominator. So I'm going to rewrite this really quickly. I have negative 1 over 7 equals 1 over 99 minus 2r to the power of positive 1/2. Okay, so at this point, what you can do is you can do cross multiplication, because I have one fraction equal to another fraction. I'm going to keep the negative with the 7 so that I get equals negative 7 on the right side. So I have 99 minus 2r to the power of positive 1/2 equals negative 7. All right, so now I have my 1/2. I'm going to flip it upside down to make it 2, and I'll take both sides to the power of 2. So on the left it cancels, and I just get 99 minus 2r. On the right side, you might not even have to plug this into your calculator. Negative 7 squared is just 49. Then I'm going to subtract 99 from both sides, and I get negative 2r equals negative 50, and then I divide by negative 2, and I get r equals positive 25. All right, number 7. I'm going to subtract 2 first, so I get negative 486 equals negative 2 times 29 minus 2n to the power of 5 over 4. Then I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. And I get positive 243 equals, in parentheses, 29 minus 2n to the power of 5 over 4. Now I have 5 over 4, and I want to flip it upside down again, and I get 4 over 5. So I can take both sides to the power of 4 over 5. Cancels on the right. On the left, 243 to the power of 4 divided by 5. I get 81. On the right side, I do just get 29 minus 2n. Now I have to do subtract 29 on both sides. And on the left, I get 52 equals negative 2n. And so when I divide that by negative 2, I get n equals negative 26. All right, last one. I'm going to start by adding 4 to both sides. So I get 375 equals 3 times 3m plus 88 to the power of, I can't really see that, 3 over 2. All right, one more thing I have to do to isolate, to divide by 3 on both sides. I get 125 equals, in parentheses, 3m plus 88 to the power of 3 over 2. Now I take 3 over 2, flip it upside down to get 2/3, and I'll take both sides to the power of 2/3. Cancels on the right. On the left side, 125 to the power of 2/3. I get 25 equals 3m plus 88. So we'll subtract 88 from both sides. We get negative 63 equals 3m. And I divide by 3. get m equals negative 21. Right, the good thing about these is we don't have to like check our work or anything. There's not going to be any extraneous solutions or anything like that. So once we find our answer, we're just done. All right, flipping over to the back, we have target 7 now, writing each expression in the other form. We've been doing rational to radical and then radical back to rational and stuff like that. So starting with number 9, I always like to write my base first, and then I know it's going to be to the power of a fraction. My root is going to go on the bottom. My exponent goes on the top. So my final answer is 4x to the power of 2 over 3. Make sure we do put parentheses around 4x, because if we don't, then we're saying that the only thing being taken to the power of 2 over 3 is the x, but we need it to be taken to the 4 and the x. So we have to put parentheses around the 4x. So whenever you have a base that has more than one thing in it, so not just x, but like 4x or 5x or 3x, you have to put parentheses around that base. All right, so this next one, I have 3x in parentheses to the power of a fraction. My root is going to go on the bottom. My exponent's going to go on the top. So my final answer is 3x to the power of 5/3. You don't have to write it twice like I'm doing, but I just like to write it without the colors again, so it's easier to see. All right, so now I have 5n in parentheses to the power of an exponent fraction. My root, if there's no number, it's just going to be 2, and then my exponent is 5. So my final answer, in parentheses, 5n to the power of 5 over 2. Number 12, I have 7n in parentheses to the power of a fraction. My root, since there's nothing there, it's just going to be 2. And then since there's no exponent either, it's just going to be 1. So my final answer, 7n to the power of 1/2. All right, writing in radical form from rational exponent form now. If you notice in numbers 13 and 16, I have a negative fraction in my exponent, which means I'm going to bring the entire problem to the bottom of one fraction, all under 1. So I have 1 over some root of 7m. Now figuring out what numbers go where is the next part. So my denominator, which is 2, always goes in the root. I don't have to write the 2 if you don't want to. And then the 5 out here, that's going to be my exponent. Now, if we write it just like the way I have it right here, we do have to make sure that we're putting parentheses around the 7m, or else the only thing that's being taken to the 5th power is that m. So what you can either do is do this, or if you want to write it like this, you can write the 5 on the outside. So if you put the 5 on the inside, you have to make sure there's parentheses around everything. But if not, you can just put it on the outside like that. All right, number 14, I have some root of n. Now the root is 2, so I can either write the 2 or I don't have to write the 2. My 1 is an exponent, you don't have to write that either. So you can literally just put the square root of n as your answer. All right, number 15, we have some root of 7r. And let's see, the 3 is on the bottom, that's my root. The 5 is on the top. I can either put parentheses around 7r and put a 5, or you can put it on the outside like this, whichever way you want to do it. And then finally, number 16, we do have that negative exponent, so we're going to do 1 over some root of p. And let's see, 2 is my root, it goes in there. 5 is my exponent, it goes right here. And that's it. All right, if you have any other questions on targets 6 and 7, please don't hesitate to ask one of the Algebra 2 teachers.